Good morning everyone, my name is Eric Reneo from BSIE 4A. We are the Group 5 and we are going to discuss the Unit 9 and 10 entitled The Global City and the Global Demography. For our objectives of this discussion, so at the end of this discussion, we are able to first, identify the attributes of a global city. Next is analyze how cities serves as engines of globalization. City is one of the administrative unit in the country. So as of 2021, there are 146 cities in the Philippines. Anyway, what are the criteria to eliminate or the requirements to elevate a municipality to a city? So there are three requirements. So these are the income, the population, and the land area. So here in the Philippines, there are also cities like Manila City, City of Cagayan de Oro, or also known as City of Golden Friendship. And also we have Iloilo City, Cebu City, and Davao City. Saska Assassin, she is an American people sociologist as she popularized the term global city. So, what makes a city global? Later, we will know the answers. But now, we are going to define what is global city. So, global city is the world's most important and influential city that covers the dimensions of globalization. So, these dimensions are cultural experience, business activity, human capital, as well as political engagement. So, bakit nga siya tinatawag na global city? So, tinatawag na global city ang isang bansa o country if it has a wealth, power, and influence to other countries, as well as hosts the largest capital market, and also it has wealthy multinational companies, good infrastructure, better economy, well-educated and powerful organization. In addition, it is a good political structure that are linked to other parts of the world. Like nowhere else, it is considered to be global. London, New York, Paris, Rome, Tokyo are one of the most well-known global cities as it provides global competitiveness for its citizens and companies. So yung mga countries na nabanggit, like the Paris, when we heard the word about Paris, first thing comes into our mind, it is the home of the Eiffel Tower. While when we heard the New York, it is the home of the stock market. There are several ways in which city can be considered as a global city. Firstly, a city should have a combination of powerful, strong, and unique culture, style, and history. This is because culture is one of the important businesses in a city that may provide many tourist attractions. For example, the Rome. It has been very powerful and influential in the development of world culture. It is one of the richest and dynamic cities in Europe. In short, global city refers to an open and diversified international city with high popularity and influence, having an important position in areas such as economic and cultural development around the world. Therefore, as a global city, it must have an advanced economy, transportation systems, and technology to attract talents from different countries to live in the city.
Characteristic of a global city. According to social characteristic of global city, as demonstrated by Hong Kong, daily some of the general characteristic people tend to refer to when talking about global cities. It cites a very lengthy list, but some of them are: a global city refers to a diversified and open society. Ito yung malayang pakikipagpalitan sa bawat sulok ng mundo sa larangan ng mga negosyo, tourism, entertainment, at culture. Ang global city ay tinatawag din na isang power city, alpha city, o world center. Ay isang lungsod na siyang pangunahing mode o koneksyon sa pandaigdigang network ng ekonomiya. Ang New York, London, Tokyo, at Paris ay ilan sa mga halimbawa nito. Next is, it is a harmonious and tolerant society that shows a respect to the other cultures. Dito, mayroong pagkakasundo-sundo sapagkat mayroong pagrespeto sa mga opinyon ng bawat isa at sa ibang kultura. Next is with a large flow of information, citizens may have access to all information, access the world. Sa global city, dahil ito ay nagsisimbolo ring sentro ng mga impormasyon, mayroon din sila dito advantage, kalamangan sa teknolohiya at matatag na gobyerno. Bukod dito, walang paghihigpit sa pagpasok at paglabas mula sa pandaigdigang lungsod para makapaglakbay ka. Kahit saan, personal o batiin, ang sino mang tao mula sa iba't ibang bansa na bumibisita sa lungsod. How is the power of a global city measured? Given the global competition between cities since 2008, the annual Global Power City Index or GPCI evaluates and ranks the major cities of the world according to their magnetism or their comprehensive power to attract people, capital, and enterprise, to grasp the strengths, weaknesses, and challenges of global cities. In a continuously changing world, not only through a ranking but also through analyzing the ranking specific components. We have economy, research and development, cultural interaction, livability, environment accessibility. Sa economy, mapasok yung market size, market attractiveness, economic valuability, human capital, business environment, and ease of doing business. Sa research and development is academic resources, research environment, and innovation. Cultural interaction, trend-setting potential, tourism resources, cultural facilities, visitor amenities, and international interaction. Livability, working environment, cost of living, security and safety, well-being, ease of living. Accessibility, international network, air transport, capacity, inner city, transportation and transport comfortability.
The top 10 most powerful cities in the world, 2018 GPCI. First is London, next is New York, Tokyo, Paris, Singapore, Amsterdam, Seoul, Berlin, Hong Kong, and Sydney. According to Institute for Urban Strategies Tomori Memorial Foundation 2019, walang pagbabago sa nangungunang top 10 ranking noong nakaraang taon. Kung i-compare natin sa tatlong cities na London, New York at Tokyo, ang pagbaba ng score ng Paris is minimal lang siya. And siya yung nagpapaliit ng agwat sa pagitan ng French capital at Tokyo. Although nakakaranas sila ng downtrend sa score, kasunod ng mga paulit-ulit na pag-atake ng mga terorismo noong 2015 and the following 2017 confirmation as host city of 2024 Olympic Games, lumalaki ang pagtaas ng score sa apat na bagong lungsod na naidagdaag ngayong taon. Ito yung Melbourne, Helsinki, Dublin, and Tel Aviv. At ang Melbourne yung nasa number 11 highest performer. The downside of global cities, living in a global city has its changes. First, the highest cost of housing, long working hours, competitiveness and precarious labor market, residential hypermobility, long commuting times, and multiculturalism due to diversity of neighbors.
Good morning, I am Janicel Reyes and my topic for today is about global demography. So when we say global demography, it is about the study of human population around the world. So when we say demo, it is the people, and when we say graphy, it means the measurement. So it means the people's measurement. So in 1950, yung population population ng world natin is umaabot lang ng 2 billion. Pero ngayon, ang population ng mundo natin is umabot ng 6.5 billion. And that is 76 million people a year. Okay? So, 76 million people a year ang nadadagdag sa mundo natin. So, kaya inaasahan na by 2050, yung planet natin isaabot ng 9.1 billion people. And that is 34 million people a year ang madadagdag. Pero yung population growth natin is not evenly distributed. So, for example, sa Philippines or sa Asia, 50,000 people ang madadagdag. Sa Europe, 50,000 people ang madadagdag. Hindi siya ganon. Uneven siya madidistribute. So, yung mga developing countries or yung mga developed countries like Canada, Malaysia, and Japan, sila yung inaasahan na stable lang yung population growth nila. Naaabot lang ng 1.2 trillion. So, sa pangkalahatan na yun sa mga developed countries. And yung mga least developed countries naman, like 50 least developed countries. So, ngayon, based on my research, 46 countries are least developed countries. So, sa least developed countries na yun, doon inaasahan na mas tataas ang population growth. So, magiging triple ang population growth nila. So, the demographics in many countries have changed baby boom. So, when we say baby boom, ito yung pagtaas ng fertility rate or ng birth rate. And yung mga several countries around the world is naka-experience ng pagbaba ng mortality rate. So, dahil nga bumaba yung mortality rate nila, mas tumaas yung survival rate nila. And dahil nga tumaas yung survival rate nila, mas tumaas yung population growth nila. Pero, as times goes by, yung mga parents is na understand nila yung kahalagahan ng population or yung kaunting population lang sa family. Like, for example, sa halip na i-meet nila yung standard na bilang ng isang pamilya, mas pinipili na lang nila na maging kaunti. Ganun. Kung ilan lang yung kaya nilang buhayin. And dahil doon, mas naging stable yung pagtaas ng population growth.
Good day everyone, I am Princess Erica Oroberto from the Group 5. So, for the continuation of our discussion, let us talk about some consequences of the demographic transition. So, we have 4 consequences of the demographic transition. The first is families, second is health, third is economic pressure, and last is migration. So, first, let us talk about the families. First is families. Parents with fewer children will spend more on each children, reflecting the exchange in quality and quantity, which is also one of the reasons why parents decrease their fertility. The elderly are more ready for further activities. So, kadalasang rason ng mga magulang dahil sa paglaki ng populasyon ng bansa, mas pinipili nilang magkaroon lamang ng kaunting bilang na anak. And the second one is health. Health trends, vitality, and disability are enormous importance for the economic and social consequences of aging and indeed more broadly for human welfare. So, kadalasang ang health ng mga tao ay naaapektuhan dahil sa kahirapan na hinaharap ng bansa. So, dahil sa kakulangan ng mga resources upang mapondohan ang healthcare security. Kadalasan pa nga ang mga senior ay mas gustong manirahan or mag-retire sa ibang bansa dahil na din sa kalidad ng buhay na meron doon. The third is the economic pressure. Increased proportion of seniors exacerbated by dramatic declines in retirement age in more developed countries. Population aging in some nations, including US, creates more strains of public-funded healthcare than on the pension system. It would also hinder the growth of the workforce. So, dahil sa dami ng mga senior, ang edad ng pagre-retard ay binabana nila sa mauunlad na bansa tulad na lamang ng USA. So, mas nag-focus sila sa kalusugan ng mga senior at mas nilakahan nila ang pondo ng gobyerno para dito. And the last one is the migration. because of the population growth in more developed countries has slowed or even turned negative. It is not surprising that international migration has accelerated from the third world. So dahil sa paglaki ng populasyon, sa mga bansang mauunlad, bumagal ang migration ng mga tao. Pero sa mga bansang nasa third world o yung mga bansang tinatawag na hindi masyadong maunlad, dito yung mga tao na nangingibang bansa upang kumita ng pera dahil sa kahirapan ng buhay sa bansa nila. So now, let us talk about the common reason for expatriation or people mobility or ang pangingibang bansa. Ayon sa international.com 2017, sinasabi dito na maraming dahilan kung bakit ang mga tao ay pinipiling mangibang bansa. Dahil karamihan sa mga expat ay pumupunta lamang sa ibang bansa, para sa kanila, ang tanging dahilan ay upang mapabuti ang kanilang mga karir at para na din maabot nila ang kanilang mga pangarap na umunlad ang kanilang pamumuhay. Other people who decide to travel abroad simply pack their bags, board an airplane, and never look back. For them, it's just an unreal sight, a dream come true in the Tuscan village, or the sun-drenched lanes, or in the midst of the skyline of Asian boomtowns. Often, for a long time, they do not move back to their home country. Today, more and more young people aged between 20 and 39 consider living in foreign country as a serious option, rather than senior managers or well-to-do retirees. The global economy, which is fluctuating volatility, is evolving its way of thinking beyond Germany. It is clear that the common reasons are situated with their financial status, their dreams, and their search for new adventures using different global competitiveness, either by means of work or study or leisure.
Hello everyone! So my name is Lorena M. Saludo and my topic is about classic demographic transition. So what comes into your mind when you hear that word? So according to my research, demographic transition refers to historical shift from high birth rates and high death rates in societies with minimal technology education, especially of women, and economic development to low birth rates and death rates in societies with advanced technology, education, and economic development. So, ibig sabihin, ang demographic transition ay tumutukoy sa pag-unlad ng teknolohiya natin and sa pagbabago ng bilang ng mga pinapanganak at namamatay sa loob ng isang buwan o taon. So the demographic transition has two main topics, which is the mortality decline and fertility transition decline. Let us first discuss the mortality decline. So mortality means death. There are three factors in mortality decline. So the first factor is the reduction in air or water spreading contagious and infectious diseases. So in first factor, it is said that death is avoidable because they limiting the spread of infectious diseases through the preventive medicine. Like for example, sa mga barangay natin, meron na tayong nahihingi na libreng gamot. So because of that, we can control easily the spread of diseases. Also, measures for public health. Like for example is sa barangay natin, nagkakaroon ng programa na libreng check-up kasi hindi naman lahat is afford na magpa-check up para na malaman natin kung healthy pa ba tayo and para maiwasan na magkahawahan. So, through free check-up, nalalaman natin kung meron ba tayong nakakahawang sakit at para maiwasan natin na makahawa. Lalo na sa pamilya natin. Next is improvements in nutrition. Marami sa ating mga Pilipino ang may mahirap na pamilya. So, para maiwasan ang death because of malnutrition, there are some people in the government that insisting to help those family na hindi kayang bumili ng masustansyang pagkain and mga vitamins to improve their health. Next is storage innovations. We all know that we are in a modern technology, so there are more proper storage where we can put those medicines para hindi agad masira. Next is transport allowable. So lahat naman tayo is aware na gumagamit na ng ambulansya para maitakbo yung mga pasyente sa ospital. Dati pag nagkasakit ang tao, nasa bahay lang, hinihintay na lang na mamatay. So with the help of transport, mas napapadali na ang pagdala ng mga may sakit sa ospital. Okay? So, let's move on to the second factor of mortality decline. High-income countries with a possible decrease in mortality as a result of decreased infectious diseases and further technological explorations that can extend their lives. So, in second factor, that mortality is decline. It is because of being high-paying countries, the technology is in advance also. So, most of the hospital facilities have more and advanced technology to cure patients and to extend the lives of their people. And the third and last factor of mortality decline is countries with low income history or cultural practices that can be rapidly gain life expectancy. There are countries that has a culture which is you only have one or two children because of their culture. Like for example, in China. Sa China, meron silang program or culture na dapat hindi lalagpas sa dalawa ang magiging anak ng isang pamilya. And mas preferable if isa lang na anak ang sa isang pamilya. Kaya kung mapapansin natin, hindi ganun kalaki ang population sa China and also in India. Unlike sa Pilipinas, so because of that, they can control the mortality and the poverty of their country. And they can control the mortality because of their program and policy. And even if they are low-income countries, they can provide for the needs because they have control on their population. That is the factors of mortality decline. And now, let's move on to the fertility decline or transition. So there are two parts of fertility decline or transition. The first one is the economic theories. So there are two parts of fertility decline or transition. The first one is the economic theories. So in economic theories, sabi dito, may mga taong or couple na mas gusto pa ang mag-ampon kaysa gumawa ng sariling anak. Dahil na din iniisip nila is mas gusto nilang mag-invest sa health and welfare ng mga bata, lalo na sa panahon ngayon na which is maraming mga batang iniiwan na lang kung saan. So may mga taong mas prepared nila is mag-ampon na lang ng mga bata for the sake of their health na din. And para mas komportable din sila sa titirahan nila. So because of that, our demographic transition is not go as rapid as it is. Next is coitus interruptus contraceptive devices. So to prevent being pregnant, there are couples that uses this coitus interruptus method, which means coitus interruptus, also known as withdrawal. It is a traditional family planning method in which the man completely removes his penis from the vagina and away from the external genitalia of the female partner before he ejaculates. So sa mga mag-asawa, ito daw yung ginagawang method para maiwasan na mabuntis ang babae. So next, let's move on to the next topic, which is the population growth. So to determine the population growth, the combination of fertility and mortality is used to determine the population. So kung mapapansin nyo, yearly or minsan monthly, may nagsisensus sa mga bahay-bahay natin, na which is tinatanong kung ilang tao nakatira sa bahay. So with that, doon na nalaman ang kabuuan ng population natin. Doon din nalalaman if the population is rapidly growing. So sa mga developed na mga countries din, katulad ng Europe and Japan, na nagdidecrease ang population growth because they are the countries that is developed in terms of population decreasing. So may mga bansa din naman na yung population growth is rapidly increasing, like for example is our country, which is Philippines. Na because of poverty, many just want to have a family instead of going to school to learn. So because of that, population is rapidly growing.